I have if we have time, Martin, for sure, I like to show this Florida.
Yeah.
This was it's a wonderful project. Right now, I will.
Yeah, but it's not so necessary. It's
new movie recording
not so
here.
important.
This is me. Let me go to my iPhone. So, yeah, as you can see, this is the mobile application into the smartphone. So, the mobile application mimics the web application platform. So, by example, when you need to analyze directly the tanks, yeah, you can have the information here into the tanks. Yeah, the levels. If you want to go inside these levels, you can have exactly the same information that you have into the web, like the locations, yeah, the groups, the controls, the feelings, the telemetry data. And if you need to use this location to go into this object using your smartphone, for sure this will be connected to any of the standard map systems that any smartphone has. So then, by example, if I need to go in direction about this, yeah, then I will get this direction how I can go to this point from my location. So I think with that, I will be more than happy to receive and to start answering the questions. And also, if Omar, Lucy, or Hamed have more to share with the audience, everyone is invited to this talk. Okay, so let me stop sharing the screen and start looking about the questions.
Thank you very much, Billy. I think we'd like to invite the audience to ask questions. I see there is some questions pending in the Q&A. However, if you also want to speak live, you can raise your hand and we will give you the opportunity to also speak a little bit, to ask questions or to give a comment or to share any perspective.
Okay, yeah, I think maybe we can share a little bit the questions, because maybe these questions that we receive and we already answer, yeah, can be also helpful for the rest of the audience.
Yes, let us confirm, because there are some questions that have been answered also by text in the answered box. So one of the first questions from Domun Sharma, I hope I pronounced it correctly, from Vivo Energy, is asking, for the telemetry system on tanks, does the system fit on all tanks?
I think maybe Martin can answer that.
What was the question? Sorry, I don't listen.
Does the telemetry system fit on all tanks? All
Yes,
type of tanks, yes.
Yes, of course. This is on LPG tanks. You have a float gauge inside, and we have additional adapters to adapt the telemetry on the float. With 2 screws finish and with magnets for the complete hardware.
And maybe Martin, for the rest of the audience, in oil tanks we know, but maybe you can explain from your part the biggest tank that we're handling and the smallest. So I think in the terms of size, we are handling not, of course, LPG, yes, but also in oil, water, and other type of tanks. Maybe you can share with us a little.
Yeah, of course. We have 1 million liter oil tanks, and we are measuring in this case with radar sensors. But in the opposite way, we have very small bottles, 50 liter, 100 liter bottles, for mobile tanks, and we use the other sensors, capacity sensors, or with pressure sensors. So it's yeah, we have, of course, we have our own sensors, but also we can adapt existing sensors in the market.
I think we have some attendees. They want to ask some question. Arthur or Obi, If you can unmute yourself, you can ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my question, first of all, a comment. I hope we would be able to get a specification sheet or a catalog of most of the telemetry devices you have for the various tanks. I kind of joined the call late, so just to be able to catch up on whatever it is I missed. My question is, can your telemetry devices connect? How easy is it for a company to connect your telemetry device to their already existing database, right? So, sake of argument, if I already use Sage, for instance, or a proprietary internally built ERP, for instance, can your telemetry device feed directly to, an already existing database?
You mean to adapt to existing sensors?
No. So I don't mean a sensor. To be able to take the information from your telemetry devices, feed information to your own database or interface where the customer is able to go and look at that information, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I want that information to feed into my own database directly, whilst it's probably feeding into yours, is that possible?
Yes, of course. Billy, maybe you can introduce about the REST API to forward this information from our database to their own database.
All right. Okay. Understood. So I guess we would explore that further.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a very good question. And thank you so much for your question, Obiol. I will share my screen again. Yeah. It's very simple. Yeah. But we saw here the platform. Yeah. And in the same route, if I go to this URL, yeah.
Billy, you don't share your platform.
It's not. Oh, sorry. Okay. It was too fast. Okay. So now you are looking my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the platform. Yeah. What we saw in the presentation. So if we like to get the data not in a visual way, but the data to interact or to put data into the platform or to get data out of the platform, yeah, we can go into this URL, and you will find all the documentation of our APIs. We have dozens of APIs. Yeah, everything that you saw into the presentation, you can make it by consuming our APIs. So these are REST APIs. We have, by example, the most common use API from the platform is the unit telemetry. So by example, this one, with this API, you fill the parameters, the start time, the end time. Of course, it made the other system, yeah, and you put the ID of the device, and then you get the telemetry. So yeah, and we can also push data into database. So we can also push the data into your database if this is part of the required of the project.
And
understood. Thank you very much,
Billy. And in the opposite way, we can get information from other systems in our platform.
Yeah, it's very impressive what we are achieving right now. We have, by example, a lot of the projects, when you have a platform that are focused into provide a solution like invoicing, price controlling, and other things. Yeah, one of the requirements, we have a big requirement, a lot of requirements from customers that already have some telemetry devices and want to put that devices into the platform. So we can integrate devices by email. You can send a simple email with a CSV or Excel file. You can send access connection, and we get the data from that devices. We can receive directly from HTTP, MQTT, UDP, TCP, different protocols, the data from different devices, and put the already existing devices and our devices into the same platform. So then we can focus on how we use the data of this sensor and put into the process. So yeah, we can completely integrate the solution to a different solution, and in the opposite way, as Martin says now. Okay, I think with this, the question hopefully is answered.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Obi, for your question. Arthur, I think you are waiting to ask your question.
That we're in, and it's very enlightening, and it's also very, very interesting to hear such development in terms of technology. I would rather start with a comment. My comment is this LP gas monitoring system, they're proving to be very, very ideal, especially from our side here in Zimbabwe. We do not have such systems here, so it will be very interesting for us to be part of that system, because most of our systems they've generally failed. Most of our trucks, when they come here, they come with their main monitoring system, but they don't really work here. So it will be very interesting. So my question was, coming back to my question now, is
Arthur, sorry, your connection is really...
the monitoring system is put on a road.
Lucy, this is the answer for you,
what is the network
because
coverage of the
I
system?
don't read that.
But my question was,
I think I got the question. Sorry, Arthur, you are going to be muted because your connection is too bad, but I think I got the question. The question is, how can the remote transmitter be put on a road tanker and with the GPS locations in different countries? I think, Lucy, you are the best to answer this. I hope I summarized your question very well, Arthur. Apologies to kick you out.
I mean, it depended on the connection that is available in the country. In Africa, from our experience, is that of course, we have the cellular connection, and the system will work with a SIM card. We will be using a local SIM card, so making sure the customer have full control of their transmission in the country. So in Zimbabwe, that will be the case. I don't think that we have any other type of transmission in Zimbabwe available. I hope that was exactly the question. It was very difficult to understand.
But I think he asked for roto gauge. Roto gauge we cannot control a roto gauge on a truck.
No. He's asking about the road tanker.
Okay.
Put it on an road LPG. Road tanker can also be on petroleum tank.
Okay.
I think also it basically it also depends on the network coverage of your SIM card. So if you have a SIM card that is covering Zimbabwe and the neighboring countries, then of course in general it should be connected in different areas. But if your SIM card is only connected to Zimbabwe, then of course you cannot have a connection from the other country. I hope this is also to elaborate on the question of network coverage.
There are many other questions.
I think we can give chance to Domun to ask his question live, because he's raised his hand for some time. Domun, you are free to speak.
Unmute.
After you unmute then.
Thank you. I hope you're hearing me. Thanks for the presentation and everything. That was very nice. I have some questions about the telemetry system. Firstly, my first question was about coverage. If we are going on Sigfox or LoRa, if in a country we don't have any connections or the network has not been deployed, do we have other instances? So I heard it that we can use the SIM cards via GSM or 2G, 3G systems. But for my question, the second question was about the telemetry system in terms of tanks. So at any point in time, if ever the signals are not reaching, let's say the platform, I'll cut it short, how will the notification be? And secondly will be with the automatic changeovers. Does it work on shifting from service, because your automatic changeover is being installed on a manifold, and let's say you have service and reserve. So once service is completed, it's finished, sorry. So at that moment, does it send the email, the notification or anything? That will be my two questions.
Yeah, I think, yes, this is to summarize your question. So about the first question, yes, for the network, it's clear. Yeah, we have developed the devices with multiple capabilities. So we have several companies that work with more than one technology. So use Sigfox in some cases, cellular in other cases, because as everyone knows, not all the networks are in all the places. So this is the first.
Can I add to the question? The question for the coverage, can the two systems be combined? For example, you have cellular and Wi-Fi. So for example, if in some point you already have certain destination, you know this destination is a destination, it's one of your filling point, and this destination doesn't have cellular connection, but it has the Wi-Fi connection from that place. Can you switch between different systems so that you will always have connection at your destinations?
Yeah, okay, only to answer that by example, I can show you here, this is a pulse counter, yeah? And this pulse counter have here, internally, you can see in the electronic, yeah, this green platina. So, and two antennas, you see here, there is two antennas?
Yeah.
So, one antenna is for Wi-Fi, and the other antenna is for Sigfox in this case, or it can be cellular. So, we have devices with two communication modules, in this case of pulse counters, yeah? In the case, by example, you see here in my hand, this is a level view basic. Yeah, it goes with a Rochester Junior sensor. Yeah, and these devices are for ATEX zone. If you can see, it's completely protected. Okay. And in this case, by example, in this case, these devices has only a single one communication type. So
the devices are all ATEX certified with zoning areas. Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
And
that's great.
This is what, by example, we are very happy that Martin is with us today in this webinar, because Martin designed these devices, and we have a lot of success here in Europe, because this is the only device, yeah, that when it's installed and after 3, 4, 5 years you need to change the battery, anyone can go to the tank, disconnect the battery. Yeah. Send this battery to the restore, and then put a new battery and make the system run again in the zone, in the ATEX zone. So this is this is completely simple to handling that in the Exxon zone. And okay, so this is what that was the answer. So we have, yes, devices with multiple communication systems, devices with multiple models, with the same device you can buy by LoRa, Sigfox, NB-IoT, Cat-M1, with external SIM card, with SIM chip, with roaming, without roaming. So we have all these possibilities for your requirements.
And then the next question, it was about the changeover. When does it send a transmission when, for example, the tank or when a cylinder is finished or empty? Does it send a transmission automatically, or when does it send a transmission in this changeover system?
Maybe Lucy would like to answer that. Yeah.
Okay, so we are in the system. We are available to program what will be the what it will be the requirements from the customer. So you will program which type of alarms you will have in the moment. For example, when you are doing a maintenance, so your system will be closed. You will have to the system will read that the system is the system will have the maintenance in this case. So that will be the way we will be working with the customer to understand what are their requirements, what do they need to see in the platform. You want to add more, Omar, about that?
Yes, I think it is
just one thing. Sorry.
Yeah,
can we get the level also with the automatic changeover? The level of gas or the flow rate? Sorry.
It is possible, but we would have to add some additional hardware.
Okay.
For a changeover system, we can make it very basic, basically full and empty, doesn't differentiate between the actual level. But if you would want to know the exact level, then we would have to add some additional hardware scale that can also transmit the actual level of gas. But then it becomes a question of cost benefit.
Yeah.
I hope that
I think only to help on that answer, I only want to add, maybe for the audience, the people that don't know how the changeover works. So when one of the tanks is empty, then we get an alarm, and there is a manual valve that is moved to a different position. So when you receive the alarm, then you need to go again, replace the bottle, and move this valve to the right way, and then it's forced. We know exactly when the one tank is empty, and we know when this tank was replaced. So you will have these two information or these two events into the platform. One of the tanks are empty. Okay, now I need to fill this tank. We already go and someone put the new tank and also activate the system. And with these two information, when you put the new tank and when the tank is one of the tank is empty, you can use this for your logistics or for your refilling process, and also help the customer that they prevent that running out of product into their place.
Thank you very much, Billy. Let's give chance to Olufemi to ask a question.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.